I met my ex-wife. We were going to school up at Utah State, and I loved hanging out with her. We had a great time. So we hung out for a while. I didn't know what it was like to be in love, and so I thought, well, seeing her naked doesn't completely gross me out. We have a great time hanging out together. We laugh. That must be what love is. So, as a Mormon boy, I finished my mission. So, what do you do now? You get married. It was not easy. It always had to be her coming on to me for it to work. And so I started to notice that in public, I was much more prone to show affection than in private. There are certain points of growing up where I remember kind of seeing a difference in the way that I thought about boys as opposed to the way maybe other boys thought about boys. And looking back now, I realize that what I was looking for was not the friendship, but the sort of relationship with a male that I didn't identify as a friendship. In our second or third year of marriage, I started to look up like other Mormons. The most eye-opening for me is when I realized, when I was like, well, this kind of is an issue. So I knew that either I had to deal with it or somehow it was going to deal with me. So I found this article about dealing with same-sex attraction and how it will never go away, but you can get far enough away so that it's small on the horizon. I decided, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna tell my wife, and what's gonna make this okay in me telling her is I'm gonna show her this article and say, look, I'm dealing with this, but I can fix it. And so I started meeting with a therapist for a while, and then I thought, if I go to Journey of Manhood, and then if I go into Adventures in Manhood, which is all reparative therapy stuff, because, just going to the therapist wasn't doing much. Throughout all this, she's hoping things are going to be better real fast, and she's wanting to be better, and so she's trying to, I think, maybe test it out and try and be intimate and all this. And I was just, I was like, I'm not in that place. I can't do this right now. She was like, well, then you probably should work on this by yourself. So we said, we'll get a divorce, and then, a year or so, however long, we'll revisit and see how I'm doing, the progress I've made, and see if we can make it work again. So I went to one more of the Adventures in Manhood after our divorce, thinking, oh, well, I still need to try. And then after that one, I think that was the last time, and I was like, it's not going to go away. It's not going to diminish. This is real, and this is who I am. If I had been raised with the idea that you just fall in love with someone as opposed to falling in love with women, it would have saved some heartache for a lot of people. There was a website called Connection. It was for gay men. I met my husband on Connection. He had just joined it. I saw him and sent him a message, and we went out before we knew it. We were hanging out all the time. He was always staying over at my house, or I was staying over at his. And then after about a year of that, we're like, maybe we should get a house together. Being with my husband, this is the love that I recognize. I think of the future, and I think, I'm okay doing whatever I do in the rest of my life with this person. Being a member of the church is what influenced all of, the heteronormative growing up for me. And so, they set up your whole life for you. But what I've realized, what's going to make you happy is living your life for you. I spent my whole life living my life for other people. I lived it for the church. I got married and I lived it for my parents. I was living it for my ex. I was living it for my children. In my experience, you can never be happy living your life for someone else, for someone else's happiness, until you live your life for your own.